If you're contemplating on getting a divorce in Nigeria, we know that it is not something you can just wake up one morning, walk away, call it quits, and say, you know what, I'm divorced. Everybody can go their separate ways. It doesn't work like that in Nigeria. There is a legal process you must follow. Okay, and in this video, I'll be showing you the step-by-step guide on how to get a divorce in Nigeria. So whether you are in the diaspora, whether you are in Nigeria, I am very sure you're going to find this video enlightening and helpful. So let's get straight into it. How do you get a divorce in Nigeria? Let me begin by establishing this fact. This step-to-step guide on how to get a divorce in Nigeria is only for those that conducted a statutory marriage. And the statutory marriage is the marriage that you conduct at a marriage registry or a licensed place of worship. So if you conducted a marriage and you were given a marriage certificate, you conducted it in a licensed place of worship or at the marriage registry, then this step-by-step guide applies to you in the event that you want to get a divorce in Nigeria. Now, the first thing to note is that you have to go through the court. Remember that I have established that step-by-step guide is for those that conducted a statutory marriage. By implication, it means that only a high court can dissolve your marriage. Only a high court has the power to dissolve a statutory marriage. So if you want to file for divorce, if you want to get a divorce in Nigeria, you have to go through the courts. And by implication again, you need to get a lawyer. A lawyer can help you with the process. So the first thing to do when you want to dissolve your statutory marriage is to get a lawyer. Now you've gotten a lawyer and you consult with your lawyer. What will your lawyer tell you? Your lawyer will explain to you that you have to prove a certain ground before you can get a divorce in Nigeria. And what is this ground? Your lawyer will explain to you that you must be able to prove that the marriage has broken down irretrievably. It means that your marriage has broken down to the extent that there is no hope for reconciliation. Like it has gotten to a point where it is reasonable to conclude that both parties cannot stay married as husband and wife. So, how do you prove this ground? How do you prove that the marriage has broken down irretrievably? Section 15, subsection 2 of the Matrimonial Causes Act provide for the ground, listed the grounds that you can prove either one or more of this ground to show to the court that your marriage has broken down irretrievably. And what are these grounds? The first ground is the willful and persistent refusal to consummate the marriage. The second ground is adultery. The third ground is separation. Either you've been separated for 2 years or 3 years and above. Another ground is desertion. Your partner has deserted you for at least a year. That is another ground you can rely on. Another ground is the intolerable behavior of the respondents. Behaviors that you cannot reasonably be expected to continue to tolerate. That is another ground. Another ground is the presumption of death, where your spouse has been absent, or you don't know where he is, and you've done everything possible, or you've done everything possible to find out where he or she is, and you just cannot seem to find this person again. If it's up to 7 years, the law presumes that person as dead, and you can rely on such grounds to file for divorce. And also, we have failure to fulfill your conjugal rights to after you've gotten an order to enforce conjugal rights and one party refuses to obey such order, that is a ground for divorce in Nigeria. So these are the things your lawyer will tell you, that okay, you have to be able to prove one or more of these grounds before you can file for divorce in Nigeria. Now we've gotten to the stage whereby, oh yes, barrister, yes, I have this is the ground I'm relying on. Let's say, for instance, you're relying on the ground of separation. Okay, I've been separated from my spouse for 6 years right now, and that is a valid ground, right? Then we move to the next step, which is now filing the petition. The divorce process begins where one party files a divorce petition before the court. The person filing the petition is called the petitioner, while the other spouse is called the respondent. Now, a divorce petition will contain the details of the marriage, if there is a child or children involved, that's information regarding the children, your grounds you are relying on. You have to state the facts and the ground you are relying on to get the divorce. Then any proposal you want to make regarding custody, maintenance, welfare of the children, or even if there are properties that need to be settled between parties, everything will be contained in the divorce petition and it will be filed before the court. And once this petition has been filed, it will be served on the other party. Now, the other party has a right to respond. He or she can file an answer to the petition. So the other party can either deny or counter or oppose any allegation, or just deny the fact, or even agree that yes, the marriage has broken down irretrievably, and not even opposed to it at all. So if the other spouse respond and it is defended, the court will hear both parties. And if it is undefended, meaning if the other party did not file any response or did not do anything, it will go undefended and the court will only hear the petitioner. So it's in this period that the court will hear the issues concerning child custody, maintenance, settlement of property, anything you want the court, anything you're asking from the court, anything you want the court to hear. This is the opportunity during the hearing, during the trial, when the petitioner will be heard by the court. After hearing you and the court is satisfied that truly the marriage has broken down irretrievably, the court will first of all grant a temporary decree. We call it the decree nisi. It is a temporary decree to afford the respondent to appeal if the respondent is not satisfied with the decision. But if after 3 months there is no response, there is no appeal from the respondent, the court then issues the final decree, which is the decree absolute. And officially, by virtue of this decree, by virtue of this certificate, this divorce certificate, the marriage has legally been dissolved and finalized. And parties are legally free to move on with their lives. At this point, this is when any other person that wishes to remarry can remarry and everybody moves on. Most times, divorce is usually not an easy decision to make. It can be overwhelming sometimes if you don't understand how it works, especially in Nigeria. But understanding the legal steps involved will make things easier for you. If you are considering getting a divorce in Nigeria, what I will advise is to speak to a lawyer. A lawyer will guide you on how to go about it, from the consultation to sharing your story to explaining the process. What I just did there is just to summarize everything, okay? So, but when you talk to a lawyer will be able to guide you through it. So if you find this video helpful, like, share, and subscribe to this channel and turn on your notification bell so that you can get more videos on family law, okay? And if you wish to talk to a lawyer, you can just send me an email or send me a WhatsApp message. Every contact info on how to reach me is in my bio. So either via email or via WhatsApp, you can reach me through any means and I will be happy to help you. Thank you for watching and I will see you in my next video. Bye.